Welcome
back to the Free Gems Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby.
You are here with us on episode 119.
119, exactly.
Listen, we got K-Cinco over to my right. Jesus here to y'all left. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think about which way y'all looking at me right now. I'm actually to y'all right.
To the right.
He's to y'all left, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, we're here for y'all on this glorious Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Woo!
Whole lot of shit that went on.
Whole lot. Before we get to that, I just want to do shout out.
Okay.
We hit 1 million views in total.
Yes, sir.
1 million views in total for the podcast so far. You feel me? 2 million's around the corner on the way on OT
million,
dubs.
10 million. 100 million.
1,000 million
is on the way. You know what I mean? It's all on the way.
We hit our first million, and they say the first million is always the hardest.
They do say that.
Always the hardest. And then it's a trickle down effect from there.
They do say that.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I heard that from a lot of days. They say that.
So before we get into any topics, we down 1 million already in the tuck. 2 million up next. 2 million, we gunning for you. We coming for you.
Oh, nah, yeah, for sure. Like you said, the first one's always gonna be the hardest. And like honestly, I think it's been proven that as long as like we keep on rocking, this shit gonna make sense eventually. Like,
exactly.
I don't care if it gotta be 15 years from now.
We making it make sense.
This shit gonna work.
We really making it make sense.
Oh, well.
So yeah, before we get into any topics, I just want to say that. And we got a lot of new things coming. We keep saying that, but don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
all on the way.
Listen. We doing a lot right now. We like you said, we're making it all make sense.
Yeah. And not for now. You know, at the end of the day, personal life be going on. So
yeah,
it's a lot of veering off and sidetracking,
life,
and stress, and going through this and that, and like, oh shit, like
life is lifing right now for
at
both
all
of
times.
us.
At all times for everybody, though, you know. So there's never something to really complain about. Everybody dealing with their own level of whatever they can handle. You know,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all part of the process.
Yeah,
it's gonna
keep pushing forward.
It's gonna make for a better story when we sitting back one day.
Oh, for sure.
Make for a better story. Like without the trials and tribulations, what is it worth?
Nah.
What is it worth?
Facts.
And you wouldn't be able to appreciate it without it. Wouldn't even appreciate what you have. You know what I mean?
What's a sunny day if it wasn't for rain?
Absolutely.
Joy wouldn't feel so good
if it wasn't for pain.
Shout out to 50. You know what I mean? If you was there, you was there.
Speaking of hip hop, I think that to start off, it would be wrong of us not to talk about. You see what's going on with Drake and all the drops he's been doing.
Yo,
and all the content,
bro,
he's been
I ain't gonna lie.
flooding.
I feel like right now the tide in music is changing in front of our faces. Like right in front of our face. Like, it's just weird shit going on. At what point does the biggest artist in the world ever drop 100 gigabytes of content, and then another 100, like just out of nowhere? Like imagine Jay-Z doing that, and it was like 04 when like he was at the height of his like when we knew he was about to retire. Even though I don't think Drake didn't retire yet, but like he's at that age where like, hey, it's almost not cool for you to rap no more, gang. Like you can hang it up. You're cool with just being a billionaire. We accept that. You feel me? But then he's like, Drake's like, nah, watch this. I'm about to flood this shit. Like that. Then you got people like YG selling 8,000 in his first week, which is fucking horrible. You know what I'm saying? Mustard, like it's regular for artists to sell 10,000, 25,000, but those same artists that can only sell 25,000 in the first week, they can go and do an arena and sell 3,000 tickets, no problem. Or you know, they can go sell 4,000 or 5,000 in their home stadium, or even 20,000, 30,000. Look at Lil Durk and how he can shut down Chicago Center, but he has to shut down shows in certain cities because it's like, damn, I feel like things are just changing right in front of our face. You know,
it's definitely a strange era for music in general. And I think Drake's antics, a lot of it has to do with the blowback after this Kendrick Lamar beef.
Oh yeah, Drake's in recovery mode for sure. There's no camp.
And it's funny because when you talk to people from his camp or someone who was cool with him like Yachty, they just had a little falling out we'll talk about. But everyone was saying how Drake was so unbothered. But Drake is the transition to after this beef until regular Drake again. Everything has showed the opposite, that he absolutely is worried and cares, and he's been moving. The blowback from this, he's literally been moving like a woman. If you think, because it's just like
explain that, they're gonna be on your ass for that one.
All right, I'm about to explain it.
Okay, let's do it.
It'll be like on some, everyone from his camp saying he's not bothered. That would be the equivalent of, your woman coming around and she's making more noise and stomping around. You ask her what's wrong and she says nothing. Nothing's wrong. And then all of a sudden it's, I can't believe blah, 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 blah. Why would you blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden it explodes. Well, Drake these little antics after he wants to do his little cryptic memes where it's like 1 verse a million. It's time for the summer now, and all these different memes and stuff to make it seem like he's unbothered. And yet he's dropping all these songs, there's all these snippets of the beef. You know what I mean? He's the only one that's still on that. Yeah. It's like I said, it's just like the woman, nothing, but she'll leave a little breadcrumbs. Yeah. Like he's leaving little breadcrumbs. Kendrick literally has dropped the song, dropped the video, and then you haven't heard from him.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't mean to cut you off, but I did hear that this is also part of Drake's. To add on to what you're saying, where he is being a little petty.
That's what I'm saying. He's
making sure it matters. There's been the rumors of Kendrick's about to drop. So Drake's like, all right, watch this. I'm gonna make sure nobody's giving a fuck about Kendrick about to drop. And you'd be crazy to think Drake don't got an album on standby so he could try to pull a Kanye West to 50 Cent. Oh well, 50 did the Kanye where he's like, yo, I'm dropping the same day and we competing. But let's see who sell the most.
I hear Kendrick dropping is not. I heard it's not true. I heard the rumors is not true that Kendrick is dropping.
Well, it'd be stupid for Kendrick not to drop, number one. Number two,
that's what I don't know how true it is.
I've been hearing mixed stories.
Yeah, I've been hearing mixed.
But what I do know is that Drake's gearing up for whatever he got coming. Drake is
petty king. He's the petty king.
He's the petty king, but he plays chess in order to be the petty king. And then it's like he just posted the Rasheed Wallace Game 2 interview.
That's what I'm saying.
On his Finsta, it's like
we'll Game 2. Like, bro, you're the only one still talking about this.
Hey,
you're the only one still talking about this.
It's just that he's not delusional. He feels like, oh, we still like this is for like not for life, but like I need to get back. Like he's well aware I lost. I need to come back Game 2. He knows. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, is Rasheed Wallace doing an interview after game 1 versus the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, this is the 04 finals, and Rasheed Wallace was one of the pivotal players of the Detroit Pistons, who actually ended up winning Game 2 and won that finals series versus versus Kobe Bryant. Pardon me. So. You know what I'm saying? It's cryptic. You know what it is. It's cryptic and direct. But I mean that is what Kendrick said. Like, listen, if I take a shot, it's gonna be direct.
And that's the thing.
Damn it, Drake.
And another thing I was gonna say is, it's crazy because, Drake has been saying little shots about the beef and everything, but someone pointed out that Drake has been doing stuff like this in his music for years and years, taking little shots at artists that only the artist knows about, that nobody else. Yeah. And then what happens is the artist will respond, and then Drake fans and stuff will play victim, like, oh, everyone wants to come at Drake because he's the biggest artist. No, Drake has been throwing shots out for years and years, and when somebody responds, now it's the victim. Yeah. And not only that, with everything going on, I also feel like, it's crazy how a lot of Kendrick bars are literally aging like wine. Yeah. A lot of Kendrick bars are literally aging like Kendrick just. And by the way, I like Drake's music. I'm not just saying it's like I'm a Drake hater. I like Drake music. Drake's a very talented artist, but Not Like Us just passed God's Plan for the most streams all time for Spotify, I think. Or a certain amount, or in a certain amount of time, something. He just passed God's Plan, bro. Something
that shit is doing astronomical,
bro.
It's the most played diss song ever.
It was God's Plan to show y'all the liar. I'm telling you, all his bars are aging like wine.
That is true. And for him to beat God's Plan is the most streamed song, and he said in the song is kind of crazy.
And not only that, we're gonna touch on Lil Yachty and him crashing out and everything, but. Yeah. The line Yachty can't get you no swag either. He ain't all his bars is aging like wine. It's really it's really crazy. I just wanted to throw that out there. And not only that, let's look at all the drops that Drake has come out with. Drake has come out with Here There Delilah. He came out with
Wagwan Delilah,
Wagwan Delilah. He came out with a new accent. Look at the features he's had in these new tracks. 21. Lotto, Young Thug, Run Atlanta when you need a check balance. You know what I mean? Like everything is all like it's all aging like wine.
Hey, listen.
I'm not saying they're bad songs, but I'm just like
when we did that top 5 rappers list, and I told you one of the things I love about Kendrick, he has this weird way of making every single sound, every single word has such a deeper meaning than you think, and you don't even realize until 10, 5, 20 years later. And we'll see. This shit, like you said, it's aging like wine.
It's aging like I'm telling you,
it's aging like wine. All we need is a Surviving Drizzy documentary.
Hopefully
about,
not, but yeah.
No, God forbid.
But I'm saying
if we get that in 10, 20 years, we gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? Nah, dude, Kendrick was not lying about none of this. But you know what I'm saying? Yo, I think the funniest shit I've heard all month might have to be DJ Mustard calling. He said, I'm tired of the. He said, Drake is the Malcolm X for white people. He said Drake and the Nation of Drizlam. Yo, bro,
the Nation of Drizlam is crazy.
Really had me in tears one day, bro. Like at the crib, dolo by myself, laughing out loud, bro. But real tears. But like, what? The Nation of Drizlam? That's genius.
But that's real. Then the Aubrey's Angels are going crazy. Nation of Drizlam is bro. I've never seen like
Aubrey's Angels in the Nation of Drizlam.
Throughout this entire thing and even the aftermath, they've been going so hard. So hard to create the agenda to defend and everything. Yo, bro. Like,
I think Kendrick fans is woken up too that if they do have a battle and see who sells the most, or like Kendrick's fans is woken up, they're gonna go buy the fucking tape. Cause I'm the type of motherfucker to do that. And I'm gonna spend my $17.99 and just buy it. Fuck a streaming. I'm not gonna stream it. I'm gonna buy it. That's off top. Like fucking. That's like 15,000 streams off top. Like I think 150,000 if I just buy it.
And
definitely not 150,000.
And not only that, or we could talk about the Nation.
The Nation of Drizlam really is crazy.
The Nation of Drizlam or the Aubrey's Angels. It's like an example I said before with all roads lead to Rome. Yeah, they're saying, well, you know, Kendrick can't compete with Drake with numbers, and now Kendrick has the number one song. Well, that's only because of Drake. He's only doing that because of Drake. There's no way. Either way, it's because that's what I'm saying. Either way.
But I mean, let's move on because I was to say, you know, we can talk about the Nation of Drizlam forever.
But we have a lot.
We got it. All right, so listen, man. Listen, if y'all don't know who Karahboo is.
Oh my!
I think we got the situation first.
Yes, go. Okay. You can do the honors.
I can do the honors. All right, I'm gonna try to make this quick. All right, so Lil Yachty, if y'all don't know, who is a rapper who has like outlasted way beyond anybody's measures of who anybody thought. Nobody thought he'd be here past 2 years of when he came out.
2018. Nobody thought he'd be here past like 2018.
And somehow he's one of the most relevant artists in America for sure. Like, and in so many ways, has so much influence, has so much impact. So. He has a podcast. They were actually ranked in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, of most powerful media outlets for podcasts. And him and his friend Mitch have a podcast. And Mitch is not so well known. He's just Yachty's friend for the most part. You know, we met him because of this podcast, but he's been shining a little bit as Yachty and him have been doing the podcast together. And they had some type of disagreement because, long story short, Yachty they have an episode with Kdot and Yachty and Mitch, they're going back and forth about Mitch explaining you got to be righteous, and it's really some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. It's about Mitch explaining you got to be righteous, and Yachty's like, yo, you're not righteous. What are you talking about? Like you was doing a bunch of bullshit. You refused to get a job. I ain't gonna lie. Yachty was calling him out, and it was a little weird.
Bro, he said weird. If it wasn't for me, what would you be doing?
It turned into that. And that was weird. That's when shit got real weird. Like it went into, bro, you didn't ever used to do shit. Like, why you calling your mans out in the middle of the podcast with Kdot? Like, you could have did this behind stage. Even like on Instagram Live, it would have been a little bit more appropriate. Even though I don't think it should be done publicly.
Absolutely
if
not.
You really feel that way, but. You gonna do that to him, man?
I was never a Yachty fan, personally.
So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was. I am.
No,
but
keep going.
This really struck me weird. I'm not gonna lie. Him trying to call his boy out mid episode, like, bro, you wouldn't be nowhere without me.
You ain't do nothing.
Pretty much, you didn't do nothing. And if you wasn't Yachty's friend, who would you be? And he's speaking like that verbatim. Like, if you wasn't Yachty's friend, who would you be? Talking to another grown man.
Another grown man.
Asking him in third person, what would you do without Yachty? Is crazy. You are Yachty. Just say me. That's crazy. I'm like, nah. I don't know if I could stand for that one. Like, if I was him, I might have crashed out middle episode.
Oh yeah, no, I'm crashing out.
Did I get paid for this season?
Absolutely crashing out.
Right, absolutely crash out. Cause all right, so in the midst of all this, that carries on into Twitter and the social media realms, and that turns into Yachty explaining, listen, I done did so much for all these motherfuckers, and now he's bombing the whole SEAL team, which is his like rap group. I want to hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah, don't let me get too carried away.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so he starts bombing the whole SEAL team. Like, listen, I done put chains on all y'all necks. I done dressed all you guys. I done wrote for most of y'all. And Karahboo, who was a recent member who had just left, who's the most popular member for the most part.
Yeah, she is.
She's a beautiful young lady. I believe she's from Atlanta. She used to be Yachty's manager. He looked at her, saw the potential of her being an artist because she was swaggy and she was pretty. And he was like, yo, let me dress you a little bit like this. Let's put you in the booth. Let's rap a little bit like this. And let me sign you and turn you into one of the bigger female acts in America. One of the bigger acts, period. I don't want to say female because she deserves more credit than that. But he then turns that into, once they split, and he blows up on Mitch and his friends, it also turns into Karahboo retweeting some tweets about people like, hey, I see why Karahboo left. And there was other people tweeting like, Karahboo did say she was getting bullied and mistreated. I see why. This is how Yachty talks in front of the camera. So Yachty goes crazy. He goes, what? Bully? He said, we gave her a career. Yachty starts dropping reference tracks.
Yo, he said what?
Every song. He wrote like every song, including her On the Radar freestyle, who just went viral recently.
And that's the one that made her pop, the On the Radar freestyle.
The On the Radar freestyle had a big reason why she went so viral recently is because she bodying it. She had the energy was there, everything was there, and then Yachty plays the recording from 2023. Like, yo,
this is the reference track.
Like, this is the reference track. This is me word for word, and she's repeating that shit word for word. And it's just wild seeing this shit unfold in front of our face. I feel like Yachty just ate this young woman's career, but I want to hear what you have to say because it doesn't sound like you're very fond of Yachty. So.
First of all, before I say this, Yachty might be one of the greatest women rappers out right now. All the tracks he done wrote for, all the City Girl track, Yachty,
I'm not gonna lie, Yachty might be the best female rap out right now.
Right, he really might be. Respectfully. Regardless how I feel about Lil Yachty, he's definitely talented. He's a great writer, style and everything. But man, he's one of those. He's one of those who tallies and counts favors, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
so I'll let you live in my house.
And then they'll throw it back in your face, regardless of her retweeting that or whatever. That didn't have to be a Instagram live rant. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to do that to that girl like that. Feel me? Yeah. That could have been a private conversation. Like, yo, boom, boom, boom. Word. And then he was also getting blowback for the way he was defending Drake a little bit earlier.
Wait, but
he's been this was like the tipping point. He's been crashing out.
Let's keep in mind though, Yachty didn't start bombing her like this until she started retweeting those tweets.
Yeah.
Post him he did some foul shit to his boy Mitch, but he didn't mention her whatsoever. Even when he was like, yeah, I helped the sale team, he left it at that. Then he went back on the internet after these tweets started going viral, Karahboo posting little subs, and he like, bully. He like, hold on, bully? Right. Like, that's when he lost it.
Yeah, he was like,
that's when
he was living in my crib. I was paying rent.
Because when they first initially split, he was on some like, yo, I hope the best for her. I hope she does good. I hope everything's great. Then he came back though bad. Fuck that. And he came back. Fuck that.
At first, when I saw she was leaving, I thought it was gonna be a publicity stunt. I thought that album was coming out. You know what I mean? Okay. I thought it was a stunt.
I seen it kind of coming, but is it because she was so much bigger than the rest of them that it was like, even trajectory wise, like where she was heading to me was gonna be bigger than Yachty musically, at least right now.
He was like,
there's like a cap to where Yachty.
He was like, how come she ain't dropped nothing? Because she don't got nothing.
Yeah.
He was talking crazy,
bro. And it's funny though, because like, I mean, not literally funny. I don't mean to laugh, but it is kind of crazy because at the end of the day, if I'm Yachty and I'm a millionaire and I'm investing hundreds of he says she's $900,000
in the hole.
In debt in the hole of the shit that he spent to make her pop. So he's like, yo, bro, if I done did all this, I done wrote your raps, I done dressed you, I done spent the money, I done put the jewelry on you, I put you in these studios, I let you live in my house, I let you hang around the guys, you're performing at my shows, I got 4,000 people in the crowd, they're not here for y'all, they're here for Yachty, feel me? They here for me. So when you go out and perform and you're posting videos on Instagram that you're performing, it looks like you a headliner because you're in front of 4,000 people. But she just did a festival the other day with no sales team, no Yachty, and it was looking fucking terrible. It was looking like she was in an assembly. It was really fucked up because like it's a humbling moment. It's got to be a humbling moment, like when you realize, like, okay, wait a minute, let's push it back in reality. Yes, I'm popping. Yes, I'm cool. But it goes back to if YG can sell, it only sells 8,000 albums in a week. What do you think Karahboo's gonna do? When you see people making fun of Coyle Ray for selling, like I think it was like 11,000, she did better than YG. And YG is literally one of my favorite rappers. If you go back to the top 5 rappers list, he's in that top 5. So it's just it's a humbling moment. And I feel like it had to hit hard for her, and I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I'm not sure who's in the right and who's in the wrong.
Yeah. That is true. You know what I mean? Biting the hand that feeds you, you know what I mean? Being ungrateful. I can see that from Yachty's side. I got me? 1,000%.
I got to try to like put these in perspective.
1,000%. And let me just say this. Let me say this. We live in an era, especially when it comes to music, where everything's about going viral. Everything's about making the next TikTok song where people are skipping steps. You know what I mean? There's no grind period. There's no.
Very true.
I feel like this is the only space where you see a lot of new artists disrespecting greats. There's no students of the game anymore.
Yeah.
You have to, like, in any other avenue, you have to be a student of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who's your favorite artist? Who'd you look up to? Nowadays, it's such a microwave society. Everybody just wants to pop without even paying homage to the people that came before you, disrespecting the greats. Or, not only that, social media is such a facade, is that you get so much buzz off social media, you really think that when it comes to these numbers, you're doing these numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of artists are not doing these numbers. Not only that, it's a double-edged sword because, a lot of artists feel like, because they have a little buzz, that they should be selling out arenas, which is not the case.
No.
And then when somebody like JT goes on tour and it's all clubs, the fans are making fun of us for doing clubs. Yeah. Back in the day, artists, they had to do the local tours, they had to do college tours, they had to do HBCU tours. They had to grind. That's where it starts. It starts in these clubs 100%. In order to get your name out there. 100%. And now you get now your little clip goes viral. You get 3 million views off this clip. Now you think you got 3 million fans, and then when you try to book a concert and it's not sold out, then you wonder why that is. You know what I mean? So it's the fans who think that automatically you should be at this pinnacle, and then also the artists feel like they should automatically be at this pinnacle. On both sides, people are skipping steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I honestly, now that I'm really thinking about it, I feel like social media has to have something to do with this because growing up, like, we didn't see our favorite artists on a daily basis. We didn't see them live. We didn't see them on Instagram every day or Twitter, or we didn't follow their 5 closest best friends and can keep an eye on them through them, like how everybody knows what Drake's doing through all those OVO associates and shit. We didn't have that. I feel like that took away so much from our need to go see these people perform at these clubs or these shows live when they do come to our city. And nowadays it's like they also, like, you'll see like a random girl from your town in Drake's, like, backstage at Drake's concert. It just makes you feel like, I don't know. It makes these people feel so human, I guess. I don't know. Where it makes you feel like, whatever. Like, oh, she can have access to that person, or he can be around that artist. Like, I don't know. I think it has something to do because, bro, it's not just Karahboo as an example. Look at how Meg Thee Stallion. Look at Moneybagg Yo having to cancel his tour. Lil Baby. Lil Durk.
Yeah.
Like, artists who are at the top of the game who have to cancel shows because they're not selling enough tickets. Artists who are at the top of the game that every time we hit the first week sales, they just keep on declining and declining and declining and declining. It's going lower and lower every time. And it's everybody too.
Yeah.
Like, Drake had I forgot what album it was. He saw like 600,000 a couple albums ago, first week. His last one I think was like 280-some thousand. And then like it keeps on trickling down. Even the biggest, it's all trickling down. So we're gonna see how this streaming world has impacted it. Like it's changing everything right in front of our faces.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's, like I said, it's the facade. Just because you might get 5 million views on a snippet, you think you can go out but at the end of the day, have you cultivated those fans? Like back in the day, artists had no choice. They had to hustle and bustle and get out on the street corners, pass out.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like it's a different day and age, and with that, microwave society becomes people not respecting legends and disrespecting the legends, and not going through that grind period in order to actually bloom like everyone else had to do. And then when you boom, okay, look at all the buzz I'm doing. Okay, boom, let's set up a tour. And now you're not selling like you think you'd be selling. You know what I mean? That's because everything, social media is a facade. It's not real.
And everybody. It's funny because before everybody had to have like an individual style, something that make them stand apart. Like it's something. Now everybody's trying to look the same, dress the same.
Thank you.
And we're all rapping the same. We might have a little bit of a subtle beat, but every city has a drill scene. Every city got a drill scene. You know what I'm saying?
Before back. Listen, there was an era where you couldn't sound like anyone else. They were not having it. You were not sound. You could not sound. You don't get me wrong. You could take elements of here, elements there, and make it your own. But you can't sound like the next person.
Nah.
You can't sound. They're not having that. But now like I said, skipping steps. No more grind period. Now this sound is hot today. oh, let me take this sound over here. Yeah. Or this is in style, let me do it over here. And everything's starting to sound alike. There's no originality. Everybody's dressing alike. Back in the day, it was a lot more creative, a lot more creativity. Nowadays, you know, a lot of these artists are just literally remix songs. Oh my Everything's God. Already remixed. Like everything that's coming out is already remade. Of a sample 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 of a sample.
Shout out to Cash Band.
I was just about to say that.
On that album.
Yo, bro, his new album. Yo, bro. And I'm a fan of Cash Band.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's literally the album I was just thinking of.
Bro, he was sampling on samples on samples.
I'm like, you're like, that's what I'm saying. Nothing is organic anymore. Everybody's skipping steps. It's not how it used to be at all.
Yeah. But I mean, that is the normal formula. It's always been that way. It's always been, listen, we're gonna sample on sample, you know.
But it's different. It's not the same.
I guess you could say it is different, but it kind of ain't. It's just the fact that it's been like, how much more music can we sample? Oh, there's no more left. Well, let's resample that. Let's run that shit back again. Let's run that shit back one more time. Just put a little twist to it. Fuck it. And then you won't realize that it's a sample. You're sampling a Biggie song and sampling the Ozzy.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like artists that did do that, they might have a sample song here, sample song there, sample song there, but they still had their own. But that's what I'm saying. But they still had their own original sound, original hits that they were doing. Nowadays, everything's a sample. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like the difference is. Yes, they were samples, and not only that, yes, there were samples, but it might be a bridge of a song. Mm-hmm. It might be a little hook over here. Yeah. Not actual like that.
Cash Band, that song "Dunk" is literally Soulja Boy. She got a dunk.
That's what I'm saying. Like we've seen, like I said, we've seen samples of maybe a hook here, maybe a bridge there, but it's still a different song. We're talking about like repackaging the exact same song and putting it out there.
So I want to make sure I want to get into this argument because I want to see where you stand on this. So last week, Tank, he came out and he was going viral because he was saying that Chris Brown is greater than Michael Jackson. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah. Chris Brown's great. Whatever the fuck he meant, I want to know what you thought he meant, and I want to know, do you agree or disagree?
He said Chris Brown. He said singing.
Okay.
Songwriting.
Let's talk about
dancing. He said in every way, Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson. I think when it comes to and not just Michael Jackson. I think when it comes to when we talk about legends or some of the pillars or some of the greats in any avenue, every form. I think we have a little. People talk about it a little bit of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To where nobody can never top that. Nobody can ever be better than that because that's who they were. Mm-hmm. And you can't tell me otherwise. It doesn't matter what's going on now. Nobody will ever be that. In some people's eyes, nobody will ever be better than Michael Jordan. No matter what.
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody. You know what I mean? But I will say this. Chris Brown, we've never really seen him have a chance to blossom.
What do you mean?
Because he's been blackballed since he was 19. He's never had that. But what I'm saying is he never had the endorsements, the star power in which he could have had. We haven't seen him in his greatest light. He's being shadow banned, and he's still out here the number one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's still the pillar of the R&B community while being blackballed. You know what I mean? And
he like the young boy of the R&B game.
And if you want to compare the different trajectories of careers, Michael Jackson had some allegations, but they didn't come until later on in his career. Yeah. He already had a worldwide career tour.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
So how we see Chris Brown is with him with shackles on.
I didn't think about that.
Chris
Brown really got caught up in that shit at 19.
At 19, that's what I'm saying.
He came out at 16. He only had 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Before he fucked himself
excuse
over.
Me, miss?
But he can only be mad at himself. But that is crazy.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm not saying he make it no better after that.
I'm not saying
jail, came back, big blood.
Listen, I'm what he did Karuchi. I'm not saying that he didn't put it on himself.
Right.
What I'm saying is, he hasn't lived the star power in which his potentially could have. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
So
that's for sure. That's
absolutely. But what I'm saying, Michael Jackson had some allegations himself, but that didn't come until later on in his career. That was after Thriller. Yeah. That was after everything. That was after Man in the Mirror. That was after all. He was already a worldwide phenomenon from Jackson 5 to the 80s. This allegations come out to like mid 90s. You know what I mean? So he was already.
Who do you think is better?
I don't know. I honestly, I think it's closer than a lot of people think. Honestly, as far as, because bro, if you listen to Chris Brown's albums recently, bro, they're absolutely amazing, and he's really hands on when it comes to production. He writes a lot of his music. You know what I mean?
Produces a lot of his music.
He produces a lot of his music. He choreographs a lot of and directs a lot of stuff that he goes on tour. So he's hands on in everything that he does. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying MJ wasn't, but I don't know. I don't think he was as hands on as Chris Brown is as far as musically.
He wasn't as gifted, so he couldn't be as hands on if he wanted to.
I honestly think it's closer than a lot of people think because of that star power. We don't see Chris Brown in a limelight that he could have been in. I think it's closer than I don't think Take is outlandish saying that. Some people are saying it's very offensive and outlandish. I think it's really closer than a lot of people think it is.
I don't want people to talk shit to me because I honestly, when I look at it and I go skill for skill, I think it's Chris, bro.
Yo, bro, I feel you.
If I go skill for skill and I go talent for talent, like Michael Jackson was a great dancer.
Oh,
but a lot of that shit was just impressive because it was the first time we seen it done. It was like an organized version of what James Brown was doing. Because James Brown was just high on cocaine, allegedly, kicking his feet. If you really look at it, it's like, all right, that shit was cool because it was just energy that couldn't be explained. So he would just have to spaz out, and that was his dancing. Mike was kind of similar. Now, what Chris does is some other shit.
Yeah.
He's breakdancing, he's crumping, he's spinning on his head, he's doing backflips. I'm just saying, skill for skill, which one looks cooler? You know what I'm saying? Like, Steph might be a better three-point shooter, but KD's an overall better scorer. That's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that similar kind of feel to me when I think about it. When you think about singing, all right, voice for voice, I'll give it to Mike if you want to give it to Mike, but like Chris can sing though. I think that's his weakest. I think that's his weakest attribute. His actual voice.
I think personally,
Chris.
I think if you take away the instrumentals, straight falsetto, voice wise, I think Chris Brown has a better voice.
Okay,
I think he hits a higher mark when it comes to actual vocal talent.
I won't argue that. I'm not the best judge of who's the best singer. Just to me, when I hear it raw, it's kind of hard for me to decide. So let's say it's a good enough to say it's a toss up, but I'm gonna still give it dancing to Chris. I'm gonna give it dancing to Chris. Like I said, the voice could be debatable. You got choreographing. I'm not sure how much Mike choreographed.
That's what I'm saying.
But I know Chris been choreographing. He's been having the same dance to those two twin light-skinned motherfuckers with the long hair. They've been in the same videos with him since Wall to Wall. Like,
Wall to Wall
they've been choreographing forever. Does Michael Jackson rap? Never heard him rap. I've heard Chris rap at a high level and make hits at a high level. Rapping.
That's why.
What was that shit with Look at Me Now with Nicki Minaj and a bunch of other songs? Chris could rap his ass off.
When he was talking crazy to Quavo,
when it comes to that, I got to give it to that. Writing is so important. It's a talent that has to be, like
it has to count.
It has to matter. If Mike barely wrote or never wrote, and we know Chris writes, and the amount of music that Chris has put out is, it's a lot.
I don't think Chris has ever had a throwaway album personally.
And then you got to think about this. Acting wise, we've seen Mike act. I think he was in The Wiz. He was in The Wiz. That might be the only time he ever acted. I'm not gonna say Chris Brown's the greatest actor, but Chris has an acting career. Mike didn't have an acting career. He had a movie he was in. Chris has a career, no matter how you look at it.
What was Chris in? You Got Served?
Nah, Stomp the Yard.
I say You Got Served.
It wasn't called Taken. Takers.
Takers
with
T.I.
Takers with T.I. That was a full-length movie. He was in it. He's in it. I forgot what else, but he's in more shit too. But I'm not even. You don't have to include acting. But yeah, even if you,
I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
Now, as a performer, that's when shit gets tricky. If you want to do just performing on stage, Mike's presence is so major.
I gotta give it to Mike.
Mike's presence is so major.
I got it. But you see what I'm saying? It's closer than a lot of people think. When people think about nostalgia, Nobody could ever be that. How could you ever say anything about that? I
also think it's similar to Michael Jordan and LeBron, where it's like skill for skill. LeBron might be more talented in a sense, but Michael Jordan is so much better at these two things, at the clutchness and at scoring, that it's like, nah, yeah, fuck all that. We're going to go with that. And his resume just looks better. So it's like, yeah, we're going to go with that.
And
he been doing this since 5 years old, we're going to go with him.
And he has that it factor. Yeah. But like I said, the 19-year-old, he's been struggling since he was 19. So we haven't even seen his potential of what it should be because of his own antics. It was a long fault.
He should be Taylor Swift. He should be Taylor Swift.
Oh, absolutely. He should be shitting on Taylor Swift.
Yeah, he should be.
Absolutely.
He should be.
But you still, he's doing all this without any endorsements.
But that's because he wild that he got his face tattooed.
It's his own doing. It's his own fault. Yeah. It's his own fault. But I'm saying we haven't seen. So I think some people are out. How dare Tank say that? And this is Tank. He's allowed to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like this not coming from any random writer. You know what I mean? It's not coming from any random blogger who sits behind a computer all day. This is coming from a stapled legend. You know what I mean? A certified legend.
Yeah.
If Tank says Chris Brown's a better singer, who am I to say that he's wrong? Yeah. Who am I to say Tank is wrong that Chris Brown's a better singer?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Who am I to say he's wrong?
But I mean, in other news, when we're talking about music and everything else that's been going on, we had just mentioned YoungBoy a little second ago, and you know he just pled guilty to a lot of his charges.
He just pled guilty to the gun charge,
and he's facing up to 10 years. So we're gonna see how that's gonna go.
And I feel like he has another case too.
Yeah, he's got 100 cases.
Yeah,
he has the drug cases that are going on in Utah for all those not fake, for all the prescriptions that he fraudulently obtaining and posting on Instagram because he's burnt out. You know, it's sad though because we don't know what's gonna happen with him, but it's looking like he's gone for the foreseeable future. And also, you got Blueface just got sentenced to 4 years.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right, and he was supposed to be getting released recently, but instead, because of how much trouble he's been getting in while in jail for having phones and a bunch of other shit, he got sentenced to 4 years. But I mean, he's already been in there like 7-8 months or something like that. It's state time, so he got to do half. He'll have to do 2 years. He probably got like a year and 2 months.
They said they said he they calculated out he should be out by like the spring, by like April or so. That's
okay, yeah.
But it's funny. He said, he said I'm in my element, and somebody retweeted is like, yo, bro, he'd rather be in jail than be a father.
That's tough. That's tough. But he did say some shit like, listen, there's a break from the real world, and I don't have no responsibilities in here. And I've heard that. I heard that sentiment from a lot of people that have been in jail, and they said it's actually a very peaceful feeling. As long as you got everything handled outside, I guess. I don't know.
As long as you got your mind right. As long as you got your mind right.
I don't want to imagine that shit. But there's been so much going on because in the midst of that, Blueface, that happened to Blueface in Vegas. He caught them charges in Vegas.
Yeah, I knew that.
And now Lil Baby just got arrested in Las Vegas for an illegal handgun.
I didn't see that.
For unlawful possession.
No, I didn't see that.
Lil Baby, yes. He was held on $5,000 bill, which I'm assuming he probably had in his pocket.
Yeah, he probably had.
4 pockets full. He's on his way out here. You feel me? But, it's just been like, this trouble is following all of our favorite artists. And I don't know if you're familiar with the story of YBC Duel, but I feel like we got to talk about it.
I've heard about it. I've heard the Philly, right?
Yes.
I've heard about it.
Philly is on fire. Philadelphia is officially the most dangerous city in America. Right?
Go ahead.
Bro, YBC Duel, for people who don't know, YBC Duel from Philly, he goes by Mr. Disrespectful. The fans gave him that name because it's a Philly drill scene out there, and where all they do is literally every other bar diss each other. Very similar to the Julio Fulio situation, where he's been mocking his dead ops, and they've been going back and forth, and he went to their gravesite, dug up a gravesite. Like, this is the type of shit that we're dealing with in 2024. It's a different level of some demonic energy going on. Right. So it was no surprise to anybody they died, and it's crazy because now I feel like these last rapper deaths, the society has came to the point where we're like, you see a lot of people repeating the same sentiment where they're like, I'm not saying RIP. I've seen you repeat the sentiment with Julio. You're like, oh, I'm cool. Like, I get it. A lot of people are coming out with that sentiment. Even the parents of the deceased rappers are like, my son was not an angel. We understand how the world feels about it. It's okay. We're going to handle it. Like, you see the story with Lil Jeff in Chicago. Same thing. His parents talking like, yo, we about to go kill the motherfuckers who killed my son.
Duck's mom.
Duck's mom. She's on some shit. Like, I want to see all these little motherfuckers rot. And you know, YBC Duel, he had just shot a hood vlog with Brandon Buckingham, a popular YouTuber, where they went through Philadelphia and they just walked all the streets of Philly from north, west, east, south, and was going around literally just self-snitching at an all-time high, at an astronomical, and you know, coming from Philadelphia, Arab, the greatest self-snitch of all time. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't too like unfamiliar to most people that, oh, Philly, that's what they do, is they self-snitch. So bro is walking around like, yeah, my man shot bro right here. Like, yeah, the only reason why he right here is because my man's in jail for shooting him. He like, but yo, bro, insane. They're like, yeah, we killed Bull right here in front of his house. I'm like, yo. Insane, because within 24 hours, that young man was gunned down in that same neighborhood, and it was just fucking spooky because it's like, yo, there's nobody watched this movie already. We didn't read this book already. We didn't see this story 1,000 times.
It's very unfortunate.
Like, this is exactly what's going to happen, and it's you know, I feel like this is why I kept saying I feel like things are just changing. I feel like the youth is catching on. Like, okay. I think we got a couple more years of this shit before everybody realizes, like, okay, like we might have like another year or two of drill before like it's literally gonna be illegal to make drill music. Like, we hear you mentioning dead people. I don't know how. I mean, it would have to be against the Constitution, but they gonna have to figure this shit out and get it under control, or we're gonna have to realize, like, okay, this is a good way to die. Because even the famous rappers, you see people from everywhere are commenting on YBC Duel's death, and they're like, yeah, seen this coming. Like Meek Mill from his own city was like, I saw that. Hey, you was on some demonic shit, bro. Ain't no RIP in these messages. Is you was on some demonic shit, bro. That voodoo shit caught up to you. You was talking about too much dead people. I believe this is spiritual, or something along the lines of what Meek Mill said.
I ain't even see Meek's take on it.
And yeah, these are people from his town, but yeah, and Meek has made a conscious effort to not back up a lot of these drill rappers because of this. He said, bro, I'm not getting involved in y'all politics because I'll shout out this one kid, and now these niggas want to kill me. Yeah. I'm really in my city. I really got family. Like, people really know me. I'm really trying to do something positive for the community.
Well, word, you bigging him up. Like, it's fuck us, word?
Exactly. And a lot of these young Philly artists feel like, man, he not embracing us. He not doing this and that. He like, hey, I co-sign one of y'all, make y'all big. Now y'all ops hate me. I gave you 10 million views. Now they want to kill us. It ain't that deep to me. And now the ops is like, ooh, I want to be the trophy.
One,
I get to kill me.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be the one to take down Meek. You know what I mean? Like,
it's fucking twisted. So I'm gonna say RIP regardless, because I feel like a lot of these kids are just lost, bro. They lost, bro. They lost. Even he was 25. He wasn't necessarily a kid, but 25, I'm doing dumb shit. And for the fame, for the money, for whatever it is that's making you feel like you're doing something, these are people who are coming from the most impoverished and most like fucked up situations you can ever imagine.
You don't gotta tell me, bro. Trust me, I get it.
It's just like part of me still has a weak spot where like I know if this little boy was raised in Maywood, New Jersey, it would not be that.
It would not be, yeah.
If this little boy was raised, in Pasadena, in a nice place, it wouldn't be this.
And it's just,
so I don't want to completely blame him, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for the decisions you make.
It's a double edged. Like I feel myself torn.
Battling because
that's how I feel about my people in general. I'm torn. I'm torn about my people in general. And my thing is, the only thing we can do to get past this is embrace each other and big each other up and help ourselves out of the situation. Yeah. But a lot of the times is like I keep saying, we thinking about the individual person. Like, I made it. I you know what I mean? So yep. I don't want to get into that type of rant today. So moving on. Did you hear that? Hold on, what do I want to say? I just had it. So speaking of rap, did you see Sexy Red in her lip gloss line?
Yo, let me tell you.
Let me know what you think about that.
Sexy, I'm buying it. I'm not using it. I'm buying it because I want to put money in her pocket because I fucking love this woman. Why the fuck is she out here doing this, bro? Bro, she's a menace, bro. She's a fucking menace, bro. Whatever they say about America trying to feed our own kind, to destroy our own kind, they not lying. Because what the fuck?
She's at the forefront.
She's at the forefront of this shit. And
for those who don't know what I'm talking about,
I love what she's
coming out with a lip gloss line, and it's all and she has different flavors of it. One of it's booty hole brown. The other one is gonorrhea,
pussy juice,
just discharge,
yellow discharge. Oh my god, I love it. Yo, Sexy Red. I gotta read this Sexy Red lip gloss line.
Listen,
I gotta hear this, bro.
Me personally, I was never a fan. I don't pay attention
Sexy Red.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god,
I don't do none of that. I think it's the worst gutter garbage trash, and it's degeneracy. Do you not agree?
It is.
Okay, you look at me like I'm bugging. Like I said anything is wrong.
Part of me likes a little degeneracy. Fuck, it's toxic, bro. It's toxic. There's no. I'm
listen,
trying to look up the flavors, y'all.
My
I'm not
point,
just on my phone. I'm trying to look up the flavors. So
listen, all right. See, this is my thing. There's nothing wrong with it in moderation, but we entrench ourselves into it.
Nah, yeah, she is.
No. But what I'm saying, listen, there's nothing wrong with entertainment. There's nothing wrong with reality TV. There's nothing wrong with music, drill music, trap music, but it's the fact that we immerse ourselves into it. We entrench ourselves into it.
How we gonna blame them for making a way and being famous and that, and we gonna blame them for us being in love with it so much that we emulate it? That's within ourselves to be like, all right, that shit cool and all, but we all know like we gonna go to jail. We try to be Lil Durk.
I'm not blaming her. I'm blaming the idea of her. It's not about her. It's bigger than her. It's bigger than her because there's other people like that as well.
But I'm just saying like it's always. Listen, in the 80s, there was a man by the name of Flavor Flav walking around with a clock on his neck.
Yes.
And he was cracked out wearing a Viking helmet. Nobody else went out and put a clock on their neck and was wearing a fucking Viking helmet. But, you know what I mean? Like, we in a day and age where we want to emulate everything we see. And it's just, Sexy Red is one of the most relatable characters in this world right now.
How is she relatable? I don't understand.
What do you mean? How many bitches in the hood got gonorrhea? What you mean? Like, how many bitches in the hood is feeling like fuck they baby dad and free they baby dad at the same time?
But is that something that should be echoed amongst the masses? Absolutely not. Just because you.
But it's like she's a character is what I'm kind of getting at.
Of course she's a character.
She has to be extra.
And black people have been characters forever. We've been buffoons forever. Entertainment. That's what we've been doing forever. Whatever we want to do in front of people is for entertainment.
But I look at it like it's for personal gain though. Like people,
of course it's for personal gain. I know that.
Like, and you can't be mad at motherfucker trying to make a way. And they found out if
I
be a little bit more of this, I got some more millions coming.
Oh, I absolutely can. Like I said, it's individualism. Like I said,
at that point,
that's my point.
You're almost saying like she's a sellout for.
I didn't say she was a sellout. She's a coon.
You didn't say that. That's not what you said.
I never said that.
Yeah, you didn't.
But certain people shouldn't be propped up on a pedestal like they are.
But I just feel like we can't be mad at them when they are getting propped
It's not about her. It's the idea of her. It's bigger than her. It's bigger than Sexy Red. It's the idea behind it.
But then once again, we're mad at her for finding a way and making.
I'm not mad at her. I don't.
You're mad at the idea of her.
Yes. That's us. That's us. No, but I'm saying that's an our problem. That's not a her problem. That's an our problem. The fact that we prop her up.
Okay,
it's not about her. It's about us.
I guess you're saying you don't personally dislike her.
Yeah, no, it's not her as a person. It's the idea of. Is what I'm saying.
I guess to me that feels like the same thing, low key though.
No,
in that context,
because if it wasn't Sexy Red, it would have been somebody else. It's not her as an individual. True. It's the idea of her. If it wasn't Sexy Red, it would have been somebody else we popped up.
Well, listen, I high key love her.
I can't stand it.
I fucking love
her. I can't.
But I understand that it is ruining
I can't
everything.
stand it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's destroying. It is destroying it. It really is. It really is. But like at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like you said, if it wasn't her, it would literally be somebody else.
As a people, we're working at a deficit. We don't have, right now, we don't have the, how do I want to say this?
I feel like
right now we're not in a position to put so much the amount of energy we do in the stuff like that.
But you know what it is? I feel like every culture, I don't think it's just a one thing, like, every culture has people who are doing clown shit and they're wild. Look at Jackass. You know how many people inspired to want to staple their balls to a receipt in the grocery store because they thought that shit was funny, or like drive their fucking golf cart into the middle of the grocery.
Do you think that was the majority of white people or the minority?
Shit, that was us too. We was in that bitch doing that shit too.
But what I'm saying is, do you think that's the majority of that culture, or that is the minority?
Well, same thing with the people emulating Sexy Red and King Von and all that. Do you think that's the majority? No.
But that's part of our culture. That's not part of I would say that's a smaller part of their culture.
Even though when we see somebody doing some outlandish shit, we be like, yo, that's some white shit. Yeah,
but I feel like that's a sector of it. You know what I mean? Just like comedians and just like entertainers in general. In our communities, we prop up so many entertainers as leaders, or we idolize them so much. There's white comedians that people love, but they're not plastered amongst the society like we plaster them amongst the society. They don't prop them up like we prop them up, is what I'm saying. It's a different lens. They go, like I said, we're not in a position in order to prop up those people. Everything's okay in moderation. Everything's okay in moderation, but we want to immerse ourselves into shit like that. You know what I mean? I'll give you another example. Let's say entertainment is sweets and desserts, right?
Okay.
As a people, we are the fattest and most unhealthy people, and all we want to consume is sweets and desserts. We're not in a position to consume the amount of entertainment and prop these people up in the way we do. I have other shit we got to worry about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You feel me?
No, yeah.
If we're looking at other groups of people who are more healthy, it's okay. They can dabble in this. They can dabble in that. It's okay. We can watch it. There's nothing wrong with watching gangster movies, but guess what? After watching gangster movies, you got to go back to real life. You know what I mean? But when you immerse yourself in that, you're gonna get your education from somewhere. And if you're not getting in the right place, that's gonna be your education. You're gonna know exactly what's going on in Basketball Wives. You're gonna know Love Island in and out. You're gonna know gossip in and out. That's your education. We have so much more to do in our community that stuff is minuscule in what we're trying to accomplish. What we should be trying to accomplish is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that in moderation, but we immerse ourselves into it where it becomes a part of our culture, and we see how everybody's living nowadays, and it doesn't surprise everything that's going on. You said in Philly and everything. That doesn't surprise me because we immerse ourselves into that. It's part of our culture. You feel what I'm saying?
You put that very well. Goddamn.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a time and a place.
I had to just shut up real quick.
There's a time and a place for everything.
That boy sizzling.
There's a time and a place for everything. I love sweets as much as the next person. You feel me? I love the trap music. You know what I mean? But
we dying from diabetes right now. You over here trying to.
It's about compartmentalizing. You know what I mean? Go in here. Okay, boom. Close that door. Now it's time to go to another avenue. That's all we know. You feel me?
100%.
So that's what I'm saying.
100%. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right. Because you go into a classroom in the suburbs, how many of these kids are trying to be a jackass? But you go to a classroom in the hood, how many little motherfuckers think they're gonna be a rapper?
That's what I'm saying. Jackass is I feel like is a niche community. They love it. We love it. We all love it. But I don't think the masses. It's not part of their culture to try to emulate people like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before. For an example. Somebody like a comedian, a white comedian, or a white entertainer or singer might go on and say stuff, but they don't put so much stock in that because they're entertainers. You know what I mean? It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
Well, we put so much stock in our entertainers. We prop them up as
100%.
as leaders in our community. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah, 100%.
That's basically all I'm saying.
I definitely see where you went there. It made a lot of sense when you put it the way you put it. Because you're right. The way that we entrench ourselves is it's a different level. It's a different level.
There's nothing wrong with sweets.
Yeah.
But when you're fat and overweight and obese,
there's nothing wrong with selling insurance, being a doctor, or something like that. But we all want to be rappers.
we all want to be a part of the culture.
We all want to be that.
And now the problem is, and another problem I have is that now, if as a black person, if you don't associate with that culture, now there are some of us that say that you're not black enough, that you're not black. So the people who don't associate it, now they act like they're associated in order to be a part of something. That's another problem. You see a black person talking proper, now you're talking white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now that's a part of our culture. Now it's somebody who's not even a part of that. They want to feel like they're a part of something. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So that's just my problem with everything.
Nah, like I said, you put that very straightforward.
There's nothing wrong with it in moderation, but we entrench ourselves in it too much. We don't have any other avenues. That is our avenues. You know what I mean?
Nah.
And that's our indoctrination. If you listen to something long enough, you're gonna start believing it. If you watch something long enough, that's what you're gonna that is what you're gonna get your education from. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
No,
and we're not in a position in order to do that. Now, when you're the majority and you already have the pillars backing you, and you already have the education, you already have the wealth, and you already have everything going for you, it's okay to dabble in, dabble out, dabble in, dabble out, dabble in, dabble out. That's what they do because they go back and forth because they're already established. We're not established. We're in a detriment. If you look at the income levels of every other minority group, we're at the lowest. We're at the lowest, bottom of the barrel. We're not in a position to be doing what we're doing, but we entrench ourselves into it anyway.
Damn.
That's just my take on everything.
Well, listen, there's gonna be bitches putting on that gonorrhea lip gloss.
That's what I'm saying.
That yellow tits. Yo,
that like
marketing though. I'm gonna give her team a W on the marketing because they definitely gonna make some bread off that shit.
Of course they are.
That shit's gonna sell out.
Oh, of course they are.
Booty hole brown lip gloss.
Of course, that's what we love. We love stuff like that. The more degenerate, the more we love it. We entrench ourselves into it. That's what we love.
Yeah,
that's what we love. Yeah. Yeah, Sexy Red. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a shame because you're so right.
Oh, I know. And the people at the top making the money off of it don't even look like us. Riddle me that.
Ding.
Riddle me that.
Ding.
So the spaces that we dominate, we don't even own. Somebody at the top that don't even look like us. You know what they're doing? They're laughing at us. They're laughing at us all the way to the bank.
Damn.
That's another question. I mean, that's another topic for another day. But that's exactly what's going on. We're the laughing stock.
Damn, man, you won't even realize it.
Don't even realize we don't even own what we dominate.
No, I'll be thinking about that shit when people be calling people culture vultures and shit. Like they be like, "Oh, Vlad's a culture vulture. Adam 22 is a culture vulture." I'm like, if a motherfucker is obsessed with hip hop and has been listening to it and doing it, how can you say they're a culture vulture? I'm like, who you should be calling a culture vulture is the motherfucker who owns the record label all the way at the top, who don't give a fuck about hip hop and never listen to hip hop. He just started a record label. His family started a record label back in 100 years ago, and that shit turned to Sony. That shit turned to whatever, to the Capitol record, and they don't give up. They don't listen to fucking Lil Baby, but they know Lil Baby's somewhere in their roster making them fucking $50 million a year. Like, that should be the motherfucker you call a culture vulture. We don't even know that motherfucker's name.
Nigga, fuck Vlad. I don't fuck with Vlad.
You don't fuck with Vlad?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
He's a... What you mean? Did you see what's going on with him and Marlon Wayans?
Yeah.
So people don't know what's going on with him and Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans wanted $40,000 for an interview.
And 30% of the revenue for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. From that one. And then Vlad didn't want to do it, and then Vlad starts talking crazy about Marlon Wayans. You're not about to start talking crazy to one of our legends. You feel me?
Well, $40,000 for an interview?
That doesn't. If you don't want to pay it, don't pay it. Don't go on the blog, start talking crazy about this man.
Well, what it was, he hit him up, and they had a private conversation about it. Like, yo, what's up with this $40K? Because they've done interviews before. They've had cordial conversation. They've given each other love before, so it was like, yo, what's this $40K shit about? Like, where does that number even come from? Like, where are you coming up with this number? Like, that's unheard of. Nobody's getting $40,000 for an interview. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not getting $40,000 for an interview. Like, what is he talking about? Nobody at all. It makes no sense from a business standpoint. So Vlad was like, yo, what is this about? And then Marlon was like he just like kind of shrugged it off on some like, if you don't got it, fuck it. Vlad was like, I thought you was my man. So that's when he was like, yo, somebody holler at Marlon Wayans, let him know that's absurd.
See, my point is, what like stuff like that's we don't gotta know about none of that.
Nah, that's true. I feel
nobody can know like you thought we like. That was a conversation between you and Marlon Wayans. Nobody told you to go on the blogs and start we was gonna be on your side. You feel me? He's never even in the interview rooms with people. He's not even.
Sometimes.
I don't think he does that anymore.
No, he does. You just can't tell the difference because he'll do one in the room and he'll do one virtually and just have the room set up around him.
And speaking of culture vulture,
speaking of culture vulture, you think Vlad's a culture vulture?
I'm not a fan of him. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a culture vulture.
Motherfucker, but he was a breakdancer since he was like 12.
I never said I don't necessarily think he's a culture vulture, but I think that he has helped in a lot of the self snitching that's been going on over the years. And he's pried at a lot of stuff, and he's instigated many altercations that's happened over the years. So I would say that. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
Aspect of it.
He's a culture vulture. Not if you fuck with him or not.
I don't necessarily think he's a culture vulture.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make
I don't
sure
necessarily think.
Page. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you can call him a culture vulture. If he's been in this shit for 40 years, obsessed with hip hop.
What do you think? Everybody's been talking about Post Malone. You think Post Malone's a culture vulture?
See, Post Malone did some John Cena shit. And that shit was weird. I'm not gonna lie. You came in a rap game, straight back braids, White Iverson.
White Iverson with the fronts and the braids.
And you ain't made a rap song since 2017 now.
And now you full country. Now you full country. That is the definition of a culture vulture. The definition.
I was gonna say it's either the definition of it or high key. He just like no. Or if we were to hang out with him, he's playing fucking Young Dolphin shit. I can't call him like we don't know him personally. But he did do some very culture vulture shit.
That is I don't have to know him to know he's a yes.
I'm telling you, that was John Cena.
But the difference between
and shout out to John Cena, but you got me fucked up.
The difference between John Cena is
I thought he was a rapper.
The difference between John Cena is he's an actor. That's the difference. That was the part he played.
Yeah.
You feel me? John Cena was absolutely a culture vulture. John Cena is absolutely a culture vulture, but everything in WWE is fake. Nothing is real.
You know just
like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just like Stone Cold Steve Austin saying racist.
Yeah.
You feel me? That took me by surprise. That's a Texas rattlesnake. You feel me? Austin 316.
That's funny as fuck.
You feel me? That caught me by surprise.
I gotta take that back. Acting. John Cena is not a culture.
They're all acting.
He's an actor.
You know what I mean? He's an actor.
He's an actor.
But
that's all he is. He's an actor.
That's what I'm.
He's not a culture vulture. But I take that back.
But
my bad, Cena.
But Post Malone is the
up.
definition of a culture vulture.
Word.
And it's not like. Now, artists sometimes they branch off into different genres of music.
I'm saucing. Yeah, that's rap. He's rapping. Nah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Like for an example, some what everybody was talking about. That's what I'm saying. Everybody was talking about Beyonce switching over to making a country album, Cowboy Carter, or whatever. Beyonce has already had an established career, a long established career. Just like Lil Wayne, he dabbled in the rock.
Yeah.
But he already had an established career. That wasn't a part of him. Post Malone jumped ship, and now is totally a different person. Miley Cyrus jumped ship. She used black culture to elevate herself, then started talking shit about it once she was accepted into white culture.
But she did say, and a Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up. I'm just saying she was fucking with Hov. She was fucking with some Hov. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not saying she was or she wasn't.
Oh, I know. She absolutely was. Absolutely.
If she threw that in the middle of the verse,
that don't mean nothing.
You think them white people at Disney Channel was like, yo, make sure you mention Jay-Z? Or you think she had something to do with that? And her pops was wearing True Religions in the Hannah Montana episodes. I don't know about it. I'm just saying that's some hood shit. I'm just saying. Before we bomb Hannah, let's make sure we understand she was fucking Mike Will. It's lit.
What does that mean?
That's what happened.
What does that mean?
Listen,
we've been fetishized for eons. That don't mean shit.
I'm just trolling.
I know.
It's funny, but at the end of the day, she did say Jay-Z's song was on, and that was an important part to why I think a lot of minorities fucked with her. I swear that shit changed a lot.
Hannah
Montana was popping, but when she said a Jay-Z song was on, I was like, what this bitch know about Jay-Z?
Hannah Montana was my work.
That's what I'm saying.
But that don't mean she's not a culture vulture. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Post Malone is the definition of, what I'm saying.
You just doing like that Nike, that Jordan song she made, that whatever the fuck that song was, that she made some rap song with Michael, I don't know. There was some Michael Jordan related in the whole Hannah Montana shit. Whatever.
But Post Malone, I'm not off his neck.
We're gonna have to make a vote. I'm gonna make a list of the culture votes. I want to make top culture votes, not just of black culture either. I want to see if other cultures, like who else just dabbled in and did some other shit, like did it maybe reverse, or motherfucker think he Asian or something. Look at Seagal. Seagal thinks he's Chinese.
Steven Seagal is a different. He's a different animal.
Right.
He needs his own list.
Right. But listen, man. We had to wrap up, man.
We gotta wrap it up.
It's been episode 119. We appreciate y'all. I gotta go pick up my baby and all that. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of some money. Yeah, K-Single got $1 billion in real estate to go handle. So listen, man, we gonna holler at y'all next week. Appreciate everybody been tuning in. It's the Free Gems Podcast. Podcast. Share, subscribe, tell a friend to tap in.
Episode 119. You feel me? 1 million views, 2 million on the way.
We gone.